Yeah, another level. Chain breaker, earth shaker, rainmaker. Yeah, another level. Let's hit it. To another level.
Hi everybody! I would like to welcome you to another live webinar of Lighttoys Academy. My name is Marek Solnička. I am Creative Director of Pyrotera, and I am here for the fourth time to learn you and to teach you and show you some great techniques and improve your skills with LT Composer and with LED props from Pyrotera Lighttoys. Today we are going to focus on uploading of your sequences, which we have been creating in the previous webinars, and testing of your sequences inside of your LED props. In previous webinars, number 1, 2 and 3, we have been focusing on creating sequences in LT Composer 3.3. We are going to use the same version of Composer since that's the newest version of our Composer yet. So if you don't have LT Composer, I recommend you to go to pyrotera.cz/resources. It should be somewhere here, our link, and you can download the whole resources folder. Our resources folder includes installation files for LT Composer for Mac, which I'm going to use today again because I am a Mac user. And you can also find there an installation exe file which is for Windows, since our LT Composer is multi-platform for many years, because we know that there are many people who are using Windows and many people who use Mac, and we don't want to limit anybody. So go ahead to this link. It doesn't matter if you are watching live right now, if you are watching us live on YouTube, Instagram or Facebook, or if you are watching this recording like days or even months later, this link should be working as well. If not, just write us on eshop@lighttoys.cz. Because we are running these tutorials, these webinars live, you can also get advantage of that by writing us anything in the live chat. My colleagues, my friends, they are not here with me because I don't want to be distracted, and also the live stream has slight delay, like 15 or 20 seconds. So they are actually prepared in another room and they will answer all your questions. They were like write all the shortcuts I'm going to use during today's webinar as well. And if you will have any problems or ideas, or if you want to ask for something related to the subject of today's webinar or to the subjects of previous webinars, you can get advantage of these live webinars by just typing something, or you just can say hi in our live chat on Facebook, Instagram or YouTube. If you already have all the resources, and if you have been participating in previous webinars, this episode should be very helpful for you. If you don't worry. If you didn't, don't worry. You can easily watch it later. You will not miss anything. We are going to use a basic workflow in Lighttoys Composer and working with our props from Pyrotera Lighttoys. Alright, so previous webinars were quite long ones. My aim was to do it in half of the time, so today I would like to do it as short and as informative as possible. Don't worry, I'm not going to skip anything important. And if you will feel like I'm skipping something, don't just write it in the comments. I have my live feed here, so if I'm going to skip something, my colleagues will write to me and I'm going to review, and I'm going to talk about any particular detail you are interested in quite a little bit more deeper. So let's begin. Let's jump to my screen. First of all, I would like to thank you for all the previous webinars, and I'm also very happy of how many people were connected during previous webinars. As you can see, we are still using this pyrotera.cz/academy, which is our website where you can find the information for all the webinars. So you can find an upcoming webinars, you can find information about the subject of the webinars, you can find all the details here. You can also subscribe to our mailing list and we will give you updates if something important will come up. and you can check the countdown, which is on 0 because we are just starting right now. Yeah, you can see my face here and Roman's face. Okay, great. I would like to ask you to help us improve our free webinars. So during this webinar or maybe after, I would definitely ask you to give us like 3 or 5 minutes of your time. Click on this button here, which is give us feedback. It will guide you to our very short form where we would like you to answer very, very simple questions regarding your origin, regarding your interest, and of how many props, and not how many, but which types of props you are owning or using, and few things about you. And not all the questions are required, so you can skip them if you don't know what to tell us. But we will be more than happy if you can like repay some of our free time improving you in these particular things by giving us some answers. We'll be more than happy to know you a little bit more. So yeah, and then you just submit here. So that's enough about that. I'm going to jump to my desktop. Yes, we don't need this one. So as I told you before, today we are going to be focused on uploading and testing of sequences from LT Composer. So here you can see that I already downloaded the resource folder, which is available on the link here. And I'm going to open my folder. As I told you before, you can find installation files here. You can also find here a manual for Visual Poi v4 and also for LT Composer 3.3 in PDF. So if you don't know anything or if you missed something, you can easily find some answers here. You can also find here a music for previous webinars, and we are going to use it also today. And also you can find both project files which are indicated by this LTP file file type. So you can find Visual Poi project and basic workflow project, and also a folder with some of the images we have been using in our previous webinar regarding Visual Poi. So since I already installed LT Composer 3.3 on my computer, I'm just going to launch it. Alright, so this is my default view of LT Composer. Here I can see my images because I have loaded these images in previous webinars. If I want to see more of them, I can easily go here to help icon, and you can find here all the keyboard shortcuts and about LT Composer, and most importantly you can find here a link, go to Visual Poi Zone. If you'll click on that, it will directly open your default like internet browser, and it will open our community platform where all the people and also us where we are sharing our graphics and resources for Visual Poi and programming and sequencing. I forgot to tell you about this in a previous webinar, so I'm trying to like, how to say, save myself and tell you that. So right now what we need to do in order to upload our sequences, because that's the first thing we are going to do, we are going to upload sequence to our props. So what I need to have is some sort of sequence. So I'm going to hit File, Open, and I'm going to find my sequence from volume 1, which is basic workflow. I'm just on my desktop. I opened my resources folder and I selected this project which is called basic workflow.ltp. So I'm going to double click or hit open here or hit enter on my keyboard, and the project is directly loaded into my LT Composer project. Right here you can see all the things we have been doing during previous webinar, and I'm quite happy with that. But we want to include also the project for Visual Poi, since I have here prepared some boogangs, some pois and some Visual Pois. So yeah, what I want to do is to merge both projects. So I'm going to hit File, And before I was using open because I wanted to open a project of LT Composer, but right now I don't want to open another one because it will not delete, it will just forget this project and it will open a new one. I want to import to the existing project a piece of another one. So I want to hit import and I'm going to my desktop where I can find my resources folder, and I'm going to find the volume2 visualpoi.ltp. So as previous times, I'm just going to hit enter, and as you can see, it was directly imported into my already existing project. And that's basically it. I just merged those two projects, and since both projects share the same timeline, the same duration of the music, they are perfectly aligned together. I can easily try that by clicking and launching the sequence using this play button in a toolbar, or by hitting spacebar. It's the same for Windows and Mac. So I'm going to hit spacebar, and I see here Boogang L and Boogang P. I can also see my Visual Poi working in the right side. So it seems like both sequences are perfectly synchronized, which I can check with this flash. Yes. I'm very happy with the outcome. If I will not be happy, I can always work with the LT Composer like regular time. So I can just select the whole sequence and I can adjust the beginning of the sequence, for example, to this marker, or I can check some specific beats in the music, like this is one of the most exaggerated beats in my first project, and I can see that it also starts here in the middle of this diamond, which is the peak of the music. So I can see that both my sequences are perfectly synchronized together. So I'm very, very happy. Because I was talking about merging of the projects, I would like to give you one tip. Since we have this amazing ability of merging any projects together, you can also use this as an advantage when you are creating more complex shows, or maybe when you are in a rush and you need to basically collaborate with other people in order to deliver the whole sequence in time. So you can actually create like pieces of the project, like different people can create different pieces of the projects. For example, I can say that my friend number 1 will be working on Moonfans, friend number 2 or my colleague number 2 will be working on Boogangs, and another colleague will be working on Zebra Boys. Because all these sequences and the props are different, there will be no clash in the programming, and I can easily split this project into these pieces. So all of the people can basically work on specific part of the project, and later on I can easily merge these things. For example, if right now I would need to adjust this project because I have some specific show for a I don't know, for an Irish festival where they wanted to have only green color in all the color spectrum. So I will take this project, I will create these markers, and I will just split this project between my friends. So what I will basically do is I will delete these pieces and I will file save as, and I will save this as another project which I will call just Zebra Boys. And later on, when all the people will be ready, I can merge all the specific projects together, which is amazing. Sometimes we need to import only specific projects, for which I would like to show you one thing which we are basically using a lot of times actually. So if I want to import into my basic workflow project only specific tracks from the Visual Poi, where I have 2 tracks actually. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create copy by just sorry, my computer is in Czech, so I'm very sorry for that. So I'm going to hit Command C or Control C on your Windows and Command V or Control V on Windows to create a copy of the project. Then I will change this project to Visual Poi 1 only, for example, and I'm going to import visual point only sequence. I'm going to delete the upper sequence, or I can hit visual point 1. Well, actually I want to import only visual point 1, so I'm going to hit visual point 2, tracks, delete, and then I'm going to save it by file and save. And now my whole project contains only one track. So when I'm going to launch the composer and I'm going to import basic workflow project, which I will import by dropping it into the windows of LT Composer, and then I will hit file, import, and visual point 1 only. You can see that it will import only one specific track. This might seem like a basic and easy idea. However, it is quite powerful tool when you need to work between bigger projects in your group or in your own library, and I'm using this quite often when I'm just, for example, in one show where we have like 20 different props, I need to change only one because I have to include cube instead of zebra boys for just one performer, one specific performer. So I can easily just import cube from another show here, and I don't need to import the whole show. I hope you understand that, and that's everything about merging projects. If you have any questions regarding this, just write your question or write your concern in our live chat. We are going to answer anything. Great. So I will actually delete this visual point 1. I'm going to import the whole track of visual point. Perfect. And now I'm ready to start uploading. I mean, I'm ready in LT Composer. However, it would be quite important to tell you about something which will help you to launch the sequence when it's already uploaded using remote or using LT Composer as well. Because sometimes we have like 3 different options of launching the project. We can use our laptop with LT Composer or our computer with LT Composer. We can plug a jack or some specific sound connector to our computer, and we can use LT Composer as a music player and also as a launcher of the sequence using Lighttoys FT Remote by using this specific piece in toolbar, this specific tool in the toolbar. For that, I don't need to do anything else. I can just upload this sequence and I'm ready to use it. And it will be always perfectly synchronized with the music because we are launching the sequence from Composer and we are also playing the music from the Composer. But what if I need to give my music on USB drive, for example, or on a pen drive to somebody, some DJ or some technician who will be playing our music from their computer or from their technical, I don't know, some sound equipment. And then I need to sync my sequence with the music. So, since we are using this manual triggering technique very often, and it is the easiest way during many occasions, we included in the Composer one very specific handy tool, and it's this pink triangle at the beginning, which will basically set the start point of your sequence. And also we have here another pink triangle which indicates the end of the whole sequence. So for example, in this particular music, I know that I don't have anything, I mean any part of sequence, any colors or images in this part of the show. Let me just check the visual poise. Yes, that's great. And so I can use this part as my cue to hit number 1 or number 2 or 3 or 4 on my remote controller to start to launch the sequence. So I can basically give my music to the DJ and he will play it from the beginning, and I can wait until I will hear my cue point in the music. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So this is the point where I want to hit number 1. So I have plenty of time to listen to the rhythm and to the tempo of my music. I can also be sure that this is really my music, because these light technicians sometimes, music technicians, they sometimes they are playing it wrong. So I want this to be my cue point for hitting for launching my sequence. So I need to drag this triangle, which will set the start point of the sequence, here. It will also snap to this marker, or to the beginning of all my colors. And since now this will be my starting point of the whole sequence. So when I will upload these things, and I need to adjust this before uploading the sequences into our props, because all the sequences are stored in the memory inside each prop. So they are not stored in Composer. They are not stored in our remote controller. So we need to do this prior the uploading process. So right now I have set my start time here, and I actually don't care so much about the end, because all my sequence ends in black, so I can extend this period. And I know that when I will finish, I have plenty of time to make my final bow and go off the stage. So this is the point where all the sequences will be stopped. Also, remote controller will automatically stop, and all the props will jump back to the previous state before the sequence was launched. So if I hit blue color on all my props, they were blue all this time, and from here the sequence will start. So the sequence will be playing, and here it will remain black because there's nothing in Composer. And when we will reach this piece of the time, all the props will stop playing the sequence, and they will jump back to the blue color, to the original state of our props. If we will walk on a stage in a silent mode, it will jump back to the silent mode. And since then you can use your remote controller like in a regular time. So I'm basically ready to start uploading all of my props. So I will jump back to my table. From the screen to me again. You can see that I'm a little bit glossy since it's very hot here. And yes, for uploading of the sequence, what I need is either remote controller for uploading FT props, because all the sequences are uploaded wirelessly using remote controller. So consider remote controller as a bridge between your computer and your props. So I need to connect my remote controller with its micro USB plug. I already plugged my USB to this computer, so I can plug it to my remote controller. And when I will do it, my remote controller will start fading blue. It means it's charging. So every time you are using remote controller for your uploading, you are also charging the battery inside, which is very great. I need to switch on my remote controller by hitting on and off button, and I was talking about these things in a previous webinar, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And right now, if I'm going to jump back to my screen, great, you can see here that I have this piece of the software here down here. Maybe it's covered by the button, so please remove the button right now. My dear friend Marek, who is sitting in front of me, and great, thank you very much. So you can see how many devices I have connected. Yeah, usually you would see only one, because before we started I also connected VisualPoise, so I'm going to disconnect both VisualPoise, which are also on my table, and now I'm going to disconnect my remote controller. It will tell you no device connected. I'm going to reconnect. I will do it close to my microphone so you can hear it. Okay, I just connect my remote controller like before, and you can see that we have one device connected. One device means that we have connected remote controller. And since now, I can use these buttons in the top right, yes, top right corner of the LT Composer, and I was not talking about these before. So one of these is Devices. Devices tab will open this pop-up window, which is basically connecting to your remote controller and reading all the details from each props wirelessly. And since I already paired to my remote controller all these 6 pieces of props which I have on my table, so we can see Boogang 1, Boogang 2, ZebraPoi 1, 2, and VisualPoi V4 Classic 1 and 2. They're already connected and paired to my remote controller, and I can see their battery status. So I can see that my VisualPois are fully charged, and my Boogangs, well, they're still okay. They will do several shows, but I should charge them after a few playing of the sequence, so I can see exactly how much juice of the battery I have in the props. I can also see a summary of all the uploaded sequences which were uploaded to the specific props before, and it doesn't matter if I did it or if somebody else did that. It's just an information of what is inside each prop in each memory. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the same order like on the remote controller, where it is also represented by colors from pink, blue, green and orange. Alright, on the left side you can also distinguish between type of connection. So right now we are reading all the information through remote controller because I disconnected VisualPois from their micro USB plugs. So if I will hit USB, you can see nothing because I didn't reconnect them, the VisualPois again. When I will click on the remote controller button, you can see the data which are read from the remote controller. I'm going to connect my VisualPois back to the micro USB plugs, and as you can see, when I'm going to click here, you can see that through USB port you have directly connected to VisualPois. When I will click on them, I can also see number of pixels of each device. I can see the firmware version. I can also see how many of the memory is already used. So I know that these Fun Festival regular logos and LO VisualPoi Holky, all these sequences together are like, and those are like our shows, are using only this like 22% of the memory. And here it's quite a little bit more because there is some other testing sequence which may contain more data. So I can see that my used memory is 33% with all the sequences or all the 4 memory banks uploaded. It's still quite a lot of free memory, I would say. Alright, and this is almost everything what you can do. You can also see here this button ping, and I will hit this button ping, but in order to show you what will happen, I have to jump back to my table. So hello here again, and I want to know which of the boogangs on my table, because I have these 2 boogangs. I don't have them connected somehow, so I want to know which of these boogangs is which in my LT Composer. So I'm going to click on boogang 2P and I'm going to hit ping. It will flash every time I'm clicking. It will flash with white color in order to tell you this is the prop which you named in LT Composer boogang 2P, which means boogang second P, like, oh, Czech language again, prava means in English right. So I should have this boogang in my right hand in the specific choreography which is uploaded. And in order to keep track of all these props, we are using these color tapes. I hope they are visible here. So here on my boogang you can see 2 green tapes with one with a little gap, and by that we are basically like marking that this should be right hand. And here you can see only 1 tape which indicates that this should be in my left hand. And yes, so as you can see, the name in LT Composer is not quite good and it's not set according to our system. So I can easily jump back to my screen, hurry up, and if I want, I can change the name here, because before I hit pink, it was my Boogang which was marked with just one tape, so this should be Boogang left. So I can just double click and I can change this to L using my keyboard. I hit enter. I hit enter to confirm my change, and I'm double clicking on the second one. So since the first one was left, so this one should be right. And I'm going to hit enter again. So right now I named my Boogangs properly. Alright, so I'm going to click on close, and because in device tab we cannot upload anything, we have to jump to upload by clicking on the tab or by hitting a keyboard shortcut U. It's the same for Windows and Mac. When you will hit U, you are going to jump into upload dialog. So upload dialog is a little bit different. You can see basically three different sections of three different sections. The first section is selected track. So this is the list of all the tracks which you have in your LT Composer. When I'm going to hit on Zebra Poi 1, you can also see that the Zebra Poi 1 track is highlighted by this pink color. So then you can know which tracks are you using. So you can, and also it is changing in the visualization. So even though you are in this specific dialog and the rest of the program is covered by this light box, by this like it's darker, so we can still see which sequences are you planning to use. So first of all, I need to select which sequence I would like to upload. So let's start with Boogang L. This is the name of the sequence. Okay, so I know that this is Boogang left, and I want to upload it into my Boogang second left. So this is the list of all the devices connected through remote controller or through USB, like Visual Poise. So I'm going to select Boogang second L, and if I will jump back to my table, you can see that it will do the same thing like the devices window. So when I'm going to click on Boogang 2, my Boogang is also going to flash to indicate that this is the correct piece of prop which I want to upload. All these things seems a little bit complicated, but it's very important for you and for everybody to be precise with uploading. You don't want to upload these sequences opposite way. It can ruin your show, it can ruin the ideas, it can ruin your creativity. So you want to be sure that you are uploading the correct, so Boogang second L, it's just one piece of tape here, so I know I'm correct. So back to my window, and here I can see the same like I saw before. So I can see which banks are taken in my Boogang second L, and I can also see which sequences are inside. So if I don't want to risk that I will be out of memory, I can easily hit erase. So I'm going to erase all these memories and jump to my table again. I will show you how it looks. So I'm going to hit erase with a third bank, which is the green one. It will flash with green, and I will also erase the last one, which is orange. So my remote controller, which is connected to the computer, is wirelessly deleting the sequences. Jump back to my computer. It's a lot of jumping today, well, but it's necessary. So now you can see that all of my banks are empty. So if I want to see the memory which is taken, oh, I actually cannot see the taken memory of FT props. Sorry guys. So right now I know that I want to upload my sequence into the first bank, bank number 1. So I know that I have my Boogang L, Boogang 2L, and the first memory bank. So I'm just going to hit, and it will start uploading. Later on I will show you how it looks on the props, but right now you may have seen that it just quickly uploaded the whole sequence, and the bank is now uploaded successfully with the track boogang L. So I'm going to upload also boogang P, which will be my boogang to R. So I'm going to erase memory number 1. I don't care about memory number 2 and 3. Jump to my table. I'm going to take my right boogang and I'm going to upload to the pink one, to the first memory bank. So it will also indicate on your prop by a color of the memory bank which you are uploading that it is uploading. These sequences are quite simple for this project, so it doesn't take so much time. But as you may have seen, there was this pink uploading, and at the end it was like white flash, like poof, poof. I will do it again, so I'm going to erase the memory and I'm going to upload it again, and just notice that at the end of this uploading it's going to flash twice with white. This white flash at the end of uploading of each sequence indicates like confirmation that your sequence was successfully uploaded. Sometimes when you are in some specific environment and you don't have like good quality of a signal, you can experience some problems with uploading. So always check your props. If they will do this white flash at the end, it means it's confirmed your sequence was successfully uploaded. Alright, so I'm here, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to take my zebra poise and I'm also going to upload. I'm going to erase memory number 1. I'm going to upload zebra poi number 1 quickly, and for the last one I will not erase the memory because you don't need to do that. You can also upload, like replace the sequence. So every time you are going to upload some specific sequence into your prop and you are going to use the same bank which was already taken, it doesn't matter because it will be automatically erased and it will be like replaced with a new sequence. So I didn't erase the memory and I'm done. Cool. Okay, next one is visual poi, and because visual poi and visual pois require more data than just colors from FT blocks in LT Composer, we are using this micro USB plug. So I plugged both my visual pois to the LT Composer, to my computer, by micro USB, which is here. Also you can see the red indication, which means it's charging. So it's the same like with remote controller. When you connect these props to your computer, they are also charging. So if you are using desktop, it's perfect. If you are using laptop, it can drain your battery a little bit. So be aware of this and don't let your visual poi to be connected longer than it's necessary if you want to save the battery before your shows, because it's always charging from the same port and it's not possible to disable this function. So I'm going to find my visual poi 1 sequence. I'm going to select visual poi 1 and you can see the white flash, which indicates that I'm in the correct prop because I'm just holding this one in my hand. And I want to speed up my uploading, so I will upload both of these visual pois with different sequences at the same time, because it's absolutely possible. As you can see, I have connected all the props at the same time, so I can select visual poi number 1. I will start uploading. In the meantime, I will select visual poi number 2 and I will also start uploading. So right now you can see that both my visual pois are uploading at the same time. So I don't need to wait. And both of these visual pois, they are loaded with different sequences. So if I'm going to jump back to my screen, are we there? That's great. If I want to upload more than one sequence at a time and I don't want to sit with my props and wait all the time, and if I want to speed it up, I can basically do just this. Watch me. Visual poi number 1, visual poi number 1, uploading. Visual poi number 2, visual poi number 2, uploading zebra poi, uploading zebra poi, uploading, and then boogang L, bookings L, uploading, booking P, uploading. And all of my sequences, back to my table, 3, 2, 1, yes! All of my sequences are successfully uploaded. If you will have more props, and if you want to upload, for example, 15 pieces or 16 pieces of props, you can just click quickly, like I just did, and you can leave the whole props to be uploaded automatically, and then I just recommend you to check if all the props were successfully uploaded. As I told you before, right now I'm in my home and I have perfect wireless conditions. Sometimes you don't have perfect wireless conditions, so there can be some mistakes. So always check, always watch for these white confirmations, always check through your composer that all the banks are loaded with the specific name of the specific track, which was your intention before you started uploading. Yeah, I'm going to check my notes. Uploading through remote, uploading over USB, erase specific bank or erase all. Yes, for VisualPoy, you can actually use this button, so please jump to my screen. You can also use this button erase all, which will basically format your VisualPoy. If you want just to delete all the banks, I would recommend to go by manual erasing each of these banks, because it will take just few seconds. If you will hit erase all, you will launch a proper formatting of the whole memory, which will, in some sort of situations, it can help you if your VisualPoy will be stuck, if the system will make some glitches, so you can format the VisualPoy in order to make it run smoother. But if you don't need to perform this thing, I just recommend you to go with simple erasing, because this will take much more time, and time is the most precious thing in our business and in our life basically. So I don't recommend to use it very often if you don't need to. Great. So you know how it looks when your props are going to indicate that the whole sequence was loaded. And I told you about this indication when after the uploading of the sequence, the prop will blink 2 times, will flash 2 times with white color, but it's not happening on VisualPoy. On VisualPoy you will see only this blue and red indication of the first pixel, which is the nearest one to the button. So don't seek for white confirmation on VisualPoy, only on FT props. On VisualPoy you have the progress bar on the VisualPoy for the whole time of the uploading, and at the end you will see this indication. Right now you know that you can upload multiple times with different sequences. You can also upload multiple props with the same sequence, and it will look the same. So if you want to upload zebra point number 6 to all of these props, you can easily click like this, and as you can see, it goes one by one. And you can see here, that's great that this thing happened, an indication with this exclamation point, exclamation mark, that there was some problem. So you can see that the sequence zebraPOI6 was not uploaded to bank 2, and you can see that the bank is empty. As I told you before, it may happen in some sort of scenarios. For example, my boogangs, if I jump back to my table, my boogangs are laying on top of each other. So there can be some interferences because both future chips, both radio units are so close to each other, so there can happen some problems. So I recommend you, when uploading more props, to separate them, especially for fans, because they have a lot of metal rods on the construction, and if you will have like 6 pieces of fans like stuck to each other, it's better always to separate them on the table or in your hands. It will enhance and it will also improve the quality of the signal, so your chances of uploading all the sequences for the first time will be much higher, and that's what you want. So jump back to my screen. If I see this exclamation mark, don't worry, I can just go and do it again. Oh, it didn't work. So, and again, and now it's done. In some occasions, when for example your props have some glitch or something, sometimes this uploading doesn't work at all, I mean, in Composer. Sorry, I'm just checking the notes. And Cherry is actually, hello Cherry. Cherry is asking if it's safer to erase the Visual Boy the Visual Boy before uploading a new program. If you can jump back to my screen. So hello Cherry again. To your question, it's not important. There is no difference between erasing the memory and loading the memory and re-uploading the same memory with the new sequence. Basically, the process is kind of same. So you don't need to erase before and then upload. You can just hit uploading and it will actually erase the memory before and upload it. So erase button is here sometimes when you need to use different memory banks, like for opening ceremony you will use number 1 and you will use Visual Boy, Boogangs and Boys, and for second gig, for example, on the same stage during the same event, just for, I don't know, one solo performance, you want to use only Visual Boy. So if you will hit 1 for the opening gala, opening act, all the props will be working perfectly. When you want to hit 2, you will trigger Visual Boy as well as all the old and different sequences already stored in your props. So if you want to avoid these situations that some of your props will accidentally turn on and they will start to shine somewhere in the backstage, it's better to go and erase memory banks which you are not going to use during event. So if you will have four different shows during the same event, and so you will upload only the banks of each prop which you are using per specific show, and the rest of the banks you just erase to be sure that they will not accidentally shine with some random sequence which was uploaded by you or your friends weeks or months or years ago. So great. Jump back to my screen. Perfect. When you upload it, all the sequences, you are done to start testing. But what if I have a problem with uploading from LT Composer? This dialog window is a quite fresh thing in LT Composer. Sometimes it doesn't work like we want to. So you can always use our fallback. You can also use our old app, which is also available for Mac and Windows, and you can use another type of uploading. In order to get this app, which I definitely recommend to download and store it in your computer, just go to our new eShop, and I'm really happy to announce that we have launched our new version, our new design of eShop on lighttoys.cz. So if you will go to our new eShop, which looks amazing in my opinion, you will go to support. Yes, and since this is like 3 days since we launched this, yes, I'm not fully sure I'm in the right place, but I am. So you can go to downloads, where you can find the Windows and Mac installation files for LT Composer, and you should find here also our FT Loader app. And as I can see, you don't. Oh la la. So guys, I think we have to improve few things. Older releases, no. Oh my god. Okay, so I definitely promise that we will include this into our eShop. So yeah, I'm just checking my notes, and yeah, Roman is typing me that FT Loader is not on the eShop. Okay, we have to improve and we have to fix this, guys. Come on. So I'm going to show you this technique later in an upcoming webinar, I believe, because you are not able to get this resource right now. Alright, but anyway, I have to speed up a little bit. So I'm going to jump here, and since I uploaded all the sequences to my props, and yeah, our time limit is over, it's just indication that I should be faster again next time. I'm so slow, I'm sorry. I want to test the props on my table. So if I will jump back to my table, I can either use remote controller to launch the sequence in the music, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to play the music a few like 10 seconds before my cue point, which I previously selected by my pink triangle as a start point. I'm going to hit spacebar, and I will wait for my cue point. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. So as you can see, my sequence is perfectly playing. Everything works. Actually, I can unplug my visual voice. I like this. Yes. So I can test the whole sequence if I did it right. This is the logo. I think you will not see it. Cool. I'm very happy. So I just launched the whole sequence, which is easy because my sequence has only 1 minute of duration. But what if your show has like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, or when you need to incorporate some of your props in 15th minute of some specific performance? So you have like dancers, acrobat, gymnasts, and then it's your 1 minute. So you are basically, and you need to launch the sequence when the music starts at the beginning, because you just have to do that way. If I want to test my sequence, or if I want to test my specific part of my sequence, and I don't want to wait these 10 or 15 minutes before my 1 minute will happen, I can use a very handy tool in LT Composer. So please jump back to my screen, and here in the toolbar is a small icon with a specific number and specific color of the memory bank, which I can launch by clicking here. There is a drop-down menu, and you can select which bank you want to launch from LT Composer. And in order to do that, you need to have your remote controller, and you need to connect your remote controller. If you will disconnect it, it will go gray anyway, because you cannot use launching here when your remote controller, which is the master unit, which controls the timeline of all the props, is not connected. So I'm going to reconnect my remote controller. Yeah, sorry, I just stepped on the microphone. It's wrong. Okay, are we good? Yeah, sorry. And I want to select bank number 1. And since now I can scroll anywhere in my timeline. So for example, I need to test only specific part because I wasn't sure that the colors here are accurate. So I can start here or here. And when I hit this play button, it will launch the sequence from this part of the project. You can launch this sequence, and you will not see it because we are right now in my screen. I will stop it by hitting spacebar or by hitting stop. It will also stop the playback of the sequence. It will also stop the playback on your props. Or you can use our shortcut, which is the same for Windows and Mac, and that's R. So if I will hit R, I'm also activating this preview playback state. So jump back to my table. Hello. And I will do the same just to show you that this function literally works. So I'm going to scroll here to my blue visual point, to my blue section of zebra poise, where is white flash of all the rest of the props and all the visual poise. So I'm going to take my zebra poise and I'm going to hit R. Cool. As you can see, Perfect. We are perfectly synchronized with the music timeline, and we have launched our sequence in the middle of the whole project. How cool is that? I'm hitting spacebar, I stop the whole playback. You can also jump through the sequence when you activate this playback. So if I'm going to start somewhere at the very beginning by hitting R or hitting this color play button, I'm activating the whole sequence, and I can jump when it's playing. I can jump with my cursor somewhere here. Okay, was the blue correct? So again, I'm going to jump to the blue. Okay, so I can basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can basically jump as many times as you want, back and forward, backwards and forwards, and you can test all the sequences, all the parts of the sequence, and you don't need to wait until a specific cue point will happen in the music. This thing is amazing, and before we had this option here, we were so desperate because always we had to wait like 7 minutes to see any specific change. So if I want to change something here in my sequence, I can basically just re-upload this particular zebra poi, and I will test it from the zebra poi cue point. I don't need to wait all the time. That's super, super great and super helpful when you are testing your props and you're rehearsing and you need to be flexible to flexibly and like fastly changing things in your props, and you don't want to wait because nobody wants to wait, right? Okay, I'm going to check my notes, and I believe this is everything for today. So yeah, I'm going to check the notes. Nobody asked any question. So before I will say thank you and I will say bye to all of you, I would like to ask you again to jump to my screen, sorry. I would like to ask you to go to our website pyroterra.cz/academy, and here under these amazing explanations on our website and pictures of our team, you can find this black strip where you can find this button, give us feedback. I would really want to ask you to fill this form. So I'm going to click here, and you can easily click that I just started. I'm spinning 4+ years. I am a part of a group because I'm part of Pyroterra performance group. I basically have, we are not using visual ones yet. We should start with them, right? Zebra poise, zebra sticks, fan stick on the stick. We don't use that one as well because we are using visual staffs, moon fans, LED fans, LED cube. LED cube is like amazing prop, and I would like to, I am interested in more education, and yes, then fill these things like if you want to be part of our mailing list, what can we do better next time? For example, be faster, man. What would like you to learn next time? Next time I would like to know how to solve problems quickly. That's something I'm interested in actually. Did this time the webinar work for you? For me it's okay. And here you can share your story with us. We cannot be more happy than when we can read something about you, about your joy, about your situations, about your fuck-ups actually, because we also have a lot of fuck-ups behind us. Because that's the thing when you improve yourself, when you grow. So we'll be more than happy to see and read something about you. Cool. Last thing, I would like to invite you to a festival, to my friend's festival, which is Prague Multi-Circus Festival, Roztoč Fest. You can go to this website, roztoczfest.com, and it will actually happen on this weekend. So if you want to come, you have to hurry up. You can come even from abroad, because right now the COVID situation is not that crucial here in Czech Republic, so you will be safe here, but please consider your specific situation and your health conditions before deciding to go to this festival. Why I am inviting you to this festival, that's because we are going to be there. We are going to perform an amazing show in collaboration with Amit Kenik, which is our great friend from Israel. He's actually living here in Czech Republic with us, and we have been developing a new LED show with so many experimental tools. It will be great if you will see it, and the whole show is done in LT Composer, which was a nightmare, believe me. But I think it will be definitely worth to see that. Also, our other friends like Manuel will be there with LED bookings, I believe, and we will have here our our booth. So if you are interested in some repairs or some experiences, if you want to talk to me or to somebody else regarding these webinars, you can find us on this festival. So I will definitely recommend to go. You can buy tickets on flowbaba.com, so do not hesitate and click and check this and consider your presence there. We will be so happy to see you there. So back to my table. This is my final minute. Thank you guys for attending this 4th webinar of Lighttoys Academy Live. I'm looking forward to see you next time, and since we have a lot of preparations for the festival, which I was just inviting you to, the next webinar will be announced soon, but it will happen during the next week or maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm really happy that you attended, that so many people attended our webinars. We didn't expect such a reactions, and I hope we help you to improve yourselves, and I hope I teach you something new, and I help you to be better artists, to be faster artists, to be more creative person at all. So thank you very much. I wish you good luck with all your creations, with your props, with LT Composer, and see you hopefully soon. Bye guys.
Yeah, another level change.